food, but only a few days without water. In today's precarious global environment, it is rare to find water pure enough to drink without undergoing some sort of chemical treatment process. Once in a great while, though, the Earth offers a rare underground vein containing natural mineral water so pristine that it can be consumed and savored with minimal human intervention. Where does one find such a place? In a picturesque setting with gentle rolling hills, blue skies, and bright sun, crystal clear streams, tall grasses, and majestic trees rising from the fertile soil. An abundance of clover, even some rare 5- and 6-leaf clover, carpets the landscape. Deer, rabbits, and other small creatures inhabit the surrounding fields. Think about this. Approximately 70 to 75% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, but less than 4% of the world's fresh water, or about 0.007% of all water on Earth, is readily accessible for direct human use. Of that, humans can use only about 0.3% of the water that is found in groundwater aquifers, rivers, and freshwater lakes. Water comes from a variety of sources. Spring water is taken from an underground formation, from which water flows naturally to the surface of the earth. Spring water must be collected only at the spring or through a borehole. Purified water is surface or underground water that has been treated in order to be suitable for human consumption. It differs from tap water only through the way it is distributed, in bottles rather than through pipes. Artesian water is from a well that taps an aquifer in which the water level is higher than the top of the aquifer. Natural mineral water is found in an underground source protected against pollution hazards and characterized by a constant level of minerals and trace elements. This water is not treated, nor minerals or any exogenous elements added, such as flavors or additives. Water from the deep aquifer is the most desirable, but also the most difficult to reach. Simply put, an aquifer is an underground layer of rock or soil containing water that fills the spaces between the rocks and soil particles. Think of an aquifer as a naturally occurring underground storehouse or a huge below-ground tank. Rainwater filters through the soil and rock layers below the surface and eventually comes to rest in an aquifer. Aquifers are penetrated through drilling to the source. A pipe is inserted and the water is then brought to the surface by a mechanical pump. Aquifer depths do vary. Some are reachable simply by digging with a shovel or light equipment. From ancient times until more modern times, wells were dug by hand and water brought to the surface by buckets or manual pumps. Wells also fluctuate in water quality and volume. Water from shallower wells often requires treatment. The discovery of Sunrider's well is a story in itself. In 1972, an experienced well driller located an underground aquifer using the expertise and intuition he had gleaned from years of experience. Sensing a rare pocket of pure mineral water hundreds of feet below, the driller guided his machine as it pierced through layers and layers of rock. Initially, the landowner protested because of concerns about costs. Water already had been found in a shallow aquifer, and the owner demanded to know why the driller needed to dig deeper and incur more expense. The driller insisted they continue. 6 drill bits were broken along the way, but finally the driller struck what he considered to be gold. He had reached the mother lode of water, an aquifer 300 feet below the ground containing pure natural mineral water. Think about that. A distance of 300 feet is the length of a football or soccer field. The remote site is surrounded by trees and pastures in a rural setting, far from over-farmed lands and overdeveloped population areas. Native Americans and horses once roamed the lush, grassy landscape. As Dr. Tei-Fu Chen gazed upon the land during a tour, he marveled at the beauty of the setting and was nearly moved to tears. His guiding principle has always been to find and use the best the earth has to offer, and this is another classic example. The water from this underground aquifer contains a strikingly well-balanced mix of nutrients and electrolyte minerals. There's no need for additives or artificial manipulation through ozonization or filtration. The naturally occurring mineral content, alkalinity, and minimal levels of dissolved solids and iron make the health properties and the taste an incomparable combination. Until now, this unaltered, sparkling, clean natural mineral water has been a well-kept secret. For more than 30 years, the landowner shared his exquisite nectar from the earth with family and friends only. Its taste, clarity, and bitter content are as close to perfect as nature intended. Now the rest of the world will experience its goodness and healthy benefits. Sunwater has unearthed a hidden treasure for your drinking pleasure.